Treylon Burks is a pretty good football player. I guess somebody's going to want his services.
Yeah, a lot of questions. I mean, this guy's been shuffled around just depending on where you read. If you look at ESPN, Todd McShay has him right now as of, I think, this morning or yesterday, has him as the 22nd overall pick to the Green Bay Packers. Teaming up over there with what they've got going on offense. And it certainly seems like that might be a pretty good place for him to land, in that offense with that quarterback with A-Raj. So I could see that. I've also heard Arizona, who has the 23rd pick. I think they're picking between whatever's left over. And if Burks is still available, they could take him. I know they're in play for Jahan Dotson as another one of those back-end wide receivers that people have talked about. And, of course, the Ohio State receiver, Chris, is it Olave? Yeah.
Olave. Yep.
Assuming he's still around. So there's a lot of, as you know, and your listeners know, there's a lot of, you're looking at a potential between 4 to 6 wide receivers that could be taken in this first round. And that's got to be pretty special for Treylon Burks, for him personally, to be in that mix. Some think he's top 3. Few believe he might be the best receiver. Very few people think that, but quite a few people believe he is a legitimate first-round prospect.
Ty, when I look at this program, because of the talent void under Chad Morris for a big-time SEC program, not much activity in the NFL draft. Now in 23 and 24, then we should see it start kicking in as this program has improved in a dramatic way over the last couple of years. But as it stands here in 22, who else has a possibility of going off the board, whether it be all the way through Saturday?
Looking at John Ridgeway, big bodied, big long bodied guy, defensive tackle. I've heard people try to place him as a rush end. I don't know that I see him as a rush end type, but definitely someone who clogged up gaps pretty well playing interior on the defensive line for Arkansas, who ran mostly a 3-man front. He clogged up double teams, Mark. As the year went on, he got better and better. His overall, you didn't see him in the first half of the season making a lot of plays, for an entirety of a game. Like, you wouldn't see him, where he would make some kind of special wraparound tackle where a running back runs through the gap and he reaches around with the big old monstrous arms of his and reach around and grab a guy and pull him to the ground. Then you kind of saw him throughout the rest of the game where he wasn't making those kind of plays. And then the season carries on, and now he's out there more. Now looks like his stamina is a little better, and his ability to clog up gaps remained pretty solidified throughout the entirety of games, where you didn't see that as much in the first half of the season. So we saw it before our very eyes. He got better right in front of us. And when you consider they 90% of the season they ran a 3-man front, and Ridgeway was able to, come out as someone you recognized. That was pretty special. And I think wherever he goes, I'm not sure who he's in play for. I know I want to say, again, it was someone from ESPN who had him right outside the top 150. So we'll see where he ends up. I could see him maybe, I don't know, it'd be guessing at this point, but I could see him as a late round guy, maybe somewhere after the 5th round, 6th round, somewhere in there. There's also Monteric Brown, who tied the SEC interceptions. He tied for the lead. I think it was 6 this year. It was either 5 or 6. Pretty good. Not a elite lockdown corner. Definitely not someone you'd look at in the first 4 or 5 rounds, but it could also be a late round pick. More than likely will be a free agency guy. So yeah, you've got Ridgeway, you got Monteric Brown. Outside of that, it's anybody's guess at this point.
You can't do that to me, Ty. When you mentioned before we started to record that Monteric Brown may have led the nation in interceptions, I gotta find that out, and I gotta know who was 1st and 2nd and 3rd and 4th. So got the list right here. Monteric Brown tied for 2nd in the nation
yeah,
with 5 picks.